my name's Craig Stuart and I'm a goldsmith and I specialise in Mokume Gane. The technique of Mokume Gane, laminating the different colours of metal together, the pieces are fused together, so a stack of alternate layers of metal are fused into one piece, and then that is cut into to create patterns that are like the grain of a piece of wood. And by controlling the different techniques of engraving and filing and twisting, you can create intricate patterns and control their focus so that they look the way that you want them. So every time I make a piece, I have a particular idea of what I want it to look like in the end, and then I treat the metal in specific ways to create that pattern. Making Mokume is like it's a meditation. You have to follow exactly the same process every time, because the slightest mark or error in the process means that it just doesn't work and you don't know until the end. I use a combination of different coloured gold, silver, platinum, so that you get a strong contrast between the metals. A lot of the pieces that I do, I like to add diamonds or coloured gemstones to them, because the patterns, they lend themselves to create a focal point. Because the patterns that I make they're capturing movement, I like to give a focus to that movement, as if the stones or the other coloured gold details are moving across or are the radiant centre of a pattern. Mokume is a very intricate process, but I think anybody that does it is a bit obsessive. It's a process that requires total concentration, and once you start on the process, you can't stop, and you have to remain focused the whole time. So you have to be an obsessive character, I think, to do it. And the potential for failure is extreme and quite frightening and stressful. And trying to keep that under control as you're doing the process is exciting. Apart from anything else, apart from it being stressful and difficult, it is exciting. And when it works and you get the result that you've tried to get, and you know that you started with a thing in mind and you achieve it at the end, the feeling is fantastic. And I think that's what it is I want from it, and that's why I do it. Seeing those patterns and predicting what will happen, and that makes me happy when it comes out the way I wanted it to do. It's so beautiful here. This part of Highland Perthshire is amazing, and every day I walk with the dogs and cover miles, and just that relationship with this part of the world, it really influences how I work. Everything that I see when I'm walking around, pieces of discarded farm machinery, old bits of detritus that you find lying around, and the way nature claims it back, that's a big influence. I like to see how the trees will grow around stones or bits of metal, and the pattern of their wood grain is affected by what they grow around, and each tree's pattern is unique, and that's the same. The Mokume that I make has that same feel about it. I think that the patterns are created as if they radiate around other objects. You look at it and you see more and more, and it looks like a simple thing, and people read it, people that see it for the first time read it as a beautiful pattern, but if they look more closely at it and they start to think about the process that has gone on to create that, it becomes even more intricate and more beautiful to look at, because it's like seeing into the material, you're seeing into the layers, you're seeing inside the metal, and that's the thing I love about it.